So welcome to stage 45, the left pelvic frame, and I am sorry to say that the next two issues are going to be very similar to the last two. This is what happens when you do a humanoid figure. You have a left side and a right side, you have top, bottom, so this is all going to pretty much mirror stuff. So let's have a look at the parts. This is the left frame, pelvic frame left, and holding it according to the orientation of the magazine, this is the same way. And if we compare it to the right, we can see that it is absolutely identical, other than this piece here is on the other side, and obviously these knobbly bits are, so it's going to go something like that by comparison. Piece number 2 is the pelvic frame left. We've seen something very similar with the right hand side, and it has got a little L on it for us. Something that's new and interesting is this sprue with it's just called pelvic girdle detail right and left, and there is an R and there is an L, and I suspect it's obviously that's the left side, but I suspect it's going to be like this. We'll use one piece and then we might use another piece later on. We also have got 3 M2 nuts, which I put in here with the other spare ones that I've got. 2 KB 2x4mm screws and 3 PM 2x6mm screws. So let's get building. So we will need to take off, so we actually need to use up this piece first. So this is the piece from stage 43. So just like before, we're going to cut this off the sprue. I like to cut this piece long, then I can cut that little piece that I've left, I can then cut it short, and then just use your finger. I can see that's a little bit rough, so we will just gently file that using our finger. Like I said before, our finger is our best friend here because we can feel how smooth that is, and that's extremely smooth. So next step, we need this piece, which is the pelvic frame, and our point of reference is this piece here, this sticky up screw hole bit, and then this little sticky out bit there. And just like we did before, we are going to place this on there, so that's going to create the screw hole there, and then this piece here, as per stage 3, will be screwed in with a KB 2x4mm screw, which is a countersunk screw, so we shouldn't be able to feel the screw when we finished. So let's see if I can pick this up without losing the piece. There we go. So that's just going to go into there, nice and simple, and the piece will tell us when to stop. There we go, the resistance has increased, we've got no movement on there, and I can't feel the screw. So the next step, we want to keep it in the original position that we've got. We want to be placing 2 M2 screw nuts in there. And if you remember, I had one went in nice and easy, and one was rather tricky to get in. So we'll have a go, we'll see how we get on with them, and if we can drop this in perfect, which that one has gone in perfect, and that one's gone in even more perfect. But if you did have trouble getting that screw that nut in, just get one of your longer ones, your PB 2x6, just screw the screw onto the end of the nut and then push it in. Oops. Then just hold it down with your fingernail so that unscrew the screw, and then it will be there for you. So the next thing we want to do is positioning the right. We will be turning it over and holding it. I'm trying to get this in a good position, sorry guys. Right, so holding it in this position, with these are where our nuts are behind, and then this tab is pointing downwards. We then want to take this piece, the left piece 2, the left piece. We've got 2 little knobbly bits there, and they're going to line up in there like that, and then that will be secured as per step 6 with 2 PM Papa Mike 2x6mm screw. Let's see if I can get just 2 out. Nope, not good enough just to get the exact number of screws out yet, am I? So I'm still holding those nuts with my fingers, but equally, if you had a bit of trouble doing that, you could use masking tape and just tape them down. I don't really need to in this particular case, but you may need to. So I've just put the 2 screws in just a little bit. That's not going in. Why is that not going in? It's spinning round, but it doesn't seem... Ah, there we go. So I guess maybe the nut had just pushed up a little bit and it wasn't connecting properly. So we're checking those nuts are in properly, and once we know they're in properly, we can then tighten this up nice and tight. Again, you could put thread lock on that if you want, but I don't think it's going to be needed. So there we go, that's that piece done. So step 7, we need to go to our new sprue, and we're actually going to be taking the pelvic detail, the right side, the piece with the R on it. Now I'm slightly confused here. I haven't looked ahead yet. I'm sure it will all make sense. So why are we placing the right detail on when we are looking at, when we're dealing with the left? But I'm sure all will be revealed shortly. So that's almost nice and smooth. And remember, I'm pushing with this file because this is a fine detail file. It's not designed to be hacking away at pieces, and that's nice. I'm very happy with that. So that's the piece that we've cut off. So it's a strange little bit of detail, but I'm sure it'll all make sense later on. So we want to switch our pieces, so now it's making more sense. So we want to pick up our right pelvic detail, and looking at the orientation, we want to be holding it here so that we've got the what I'm going to call the inside is exposed, all the little bits of framework, and this is going to go in, wow, like that, but that doesn't hold. Have I just made a cock up, I wonder? No, I haven't. Right, so check the fit of part 45.3, which is this piece, at the end of the assembly from stage 44. The foot fits into a recess, which is there, and the inner curved edge fits against part 44.1, like so. Between the edge of part 44.1 and the 2 raised tabs, dotted line insert. Right, so step 9, which is always going to be on another page, apply a very small amount of super glue to the edges of 45.3, and it's asking us to apply super glue all along there and along there. And you can see the points of contact are going to be all of this except for there. So let's very quickly get a scrap piece of plastic. So I always like to keep the packaging handy. We also need our super glue and a cocktail stick, and looks like we'll be running down the shops to get some new ones soon. So this is super glue gel that I use, and it does have a tendency to separate, so I will give that a really good shake. Oops, looks like the lid it's glued itself on. So bit of a squirt on there, make sure it looks nice and thick like a jelly, not like a liquid. And so I'm going to lay the part like this. I'm going to hold the part like this. It gives me plenty of room to glue, and then I've got it in that natural position to stick down. So a little bit of glue along there. If you put a bit too much on, just wipe the excess off with the cocktail stick and then use that for another piece. So, and really you want as little of this glue as possible. If you put more glue on, it just takes longer to stick, and you'll be really surprised at how strong this glue is. If you put just a tiny amount on, remember it's only a small plastic part, it doesn't need much to glue it in place. So we'll hold that for just a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and that is fixed firmly. That might be coming off at the top. Yeah, so that's fine, it's not the end of the world. I will get just a little bit more glue. It might just be that it doesn't make good contact at the top. So push that in place. We'll give that another 5 to 10 seconds. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's stuck down now, so that is not going anywhere. So that's just a small detail, but look at the difference it's making. So rather happy with that. I'm guessing we'll probably need super glue for the next stage, and that is actually stage 45 complete. We have some leftover odd parts, so this is what we're dealing with. So obviously these are going to carry on to a later stage. So I hope you enjoyed the video. The next stage is going to be 46, working on the right pelvis. And if you remember, these parts are very similar to stage 44, and we did get in a slight muddle. Well, I got in a slight muddle because I was expecting right hand side, left hand side parts, sorry, right hand side, and I got left hand side parts, so do double check. Okay guys, so I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.